Actually, we are hoping that there will be very little impact on people who use the cathedral. If you might remember, decades ago, the church was put on stilts as the Promenade de la Cathédrale was built underneath it, and we still had our services. So this seems minor in comparison to what happened several decades ago now. So we plan on having the services and everything. We'll continue the concerts as usual. Obviously, the grounds are not as pretty because of the construction site that is already, the fences are all up around us. So the grounds have been cut in half, so there's less grounds for people to sit and enjoy the sun. The next part people will start seeing is when the scaffolding starts being built for the steeple, and there will be huge cranes that will be placed to start place the scaffolding, and it will become even more visible as the months go on. Well, I think churches typically, the spires were always a symbol that actually people knew, there's a church. So the spires were an outside symbol so people would know where to go. The inside of the church is something that is not going to change, during this whole project. So it continues to be an oasis in this busy downtown Montreal where people can come for quiet, and we have people coming constantly for quiet, for prayer. On top of the tourists that come, during the summer we have 500 to 900 tourists a day coming through just who are so impressed with the beauty of the church. So we don't expect the inside to be affected by what is happening outside, that it will still be an oasis of peace. Well, it'll probably go till 2020. This fall, we're starting, actually at the end of this month, we'll see the first scaffoldings going up. See, there's actually two projects going on. There's the steeple that needs to be rebuilt, taken down and rebuilt. And then there's the masonry, the stonework, the very old stonework around. So those are two different projects that are part of this whole rebuilding that's going on. The scaffolding will be going up very shortly, within a week or two. In the back part of the church outside, that people will start seeing the scaffolding there, since the northwest side of the pinnacle needs to be some stones need to be replaced. So that's what they're doing right now. The architects with the engineers are picking the stoneworks, going to the quarries and getting all that worked out, be sure they're perfect matches. And I actually had a little lesson today on the work, how the mortar is done. It's an incredible science to actually make sure it's perfect. And this is mortar they need to be making constantly, and it's being tested all the time so that it's there. It can't show after it's done, so it has to be perfect. It's probably much more challenging now because you have to match what was there before, whereas before they were just doing mortar. It had to be good and solid, obviously, but now it's a question of matching. So I think there's more even, has to hold and it has to match. Something that might be interesting to know is we can't see what's been going on, but there's been a lot of cleaning going on. They call it actually decontamination. Now, we're not talking asbestos. We're talking 60 years of pigeons living in the spire. So I probably don't need to say more about decontamination, but it is actually quite an important and big part of the work that nobody sees, but it's been going on for the last while now. And then they'll be putting screens to make sure the pigeons don't come back.